Namaskar and good evening, everyone. 22nd December, Thursday evening, 8:31 p.m. As always, three screens: the weekly, daily, and the 75-minute time frame combinations for the Indian equity markets. But I think, like yesterday, we should first focus on the global markets. What's happening right now? SGX is down almost close to 100 points. It's 91 points down, and it's slipped below that 18,100 mark. The psychological 18K is now under consideration. After yesterday's sharp bounce back, most of the US market indices are deeply in the red. S&P 500, after yesterday's sharp bounce back, we can see has gapped down today and is currently trading at the lowest point of the day. So the dead cat bounce that we experienced a few days back is what they are going through right now. Structure-wise, downtrend US markets, and the momentum seems to be on the downside. Bounce backs don't even last for a day or two, so a sign of weak markets. Crude, if you remember, is something that I was interested in very closely, and we did drop some targets yesterday evening, close to 79.8, which is close to 80, then 82.5 and 85, etc. Now at today's high on the NYMEX, it's at 79.9. The short-term trend has beautifully structurally gone into an uptrend, and I think that it's just paying respect to the psychological round number of 80. But this particular move has potential towards 82.5 for sure. Before that, it wants to just go through a short-term correction, and so be it. This move will dissipate, will make no sense anymore if it slips below this significantly and actually closes below this. And level wise, it's around 77.5. So 77.5 stays as a structural support for crude. Now let's take a look at our markets. What happened today? If we take a look at the Nifty, by the way, we've got a test of the targets that we had dropped for ourselves. 18,130, if you remember, so 18,100 odd levels. Today's low is at 18,112. So this level has been taken care of. But if you kind of close in, then you would notice that this guy has a far better confluence. These two levels are very close to each other. 17,930, 17,960, a little below that psychological 18K mark. Now, going by the fact where SGX is trading right now, this is very much a possibility. I'm saying that you should not shy off from it. Now, what do I see on the charts of Nifty, various different time frames? Now, weekly charts, long-term charts going through a structural correction, and we have discussed this. Even if this gets tested, not a big deal. It seems like it's going to get tested, which is close to that psychological, or little below that 18K mark. So long-term is fine. Short-term or intermediate time frame, we are going through a corrective move. We had a dead cat bounce. No sign of strong divergences shaping up. So I think that weakness is likely to persist. On the 75-minute time frame, when I look at it, I do not see anything strong. What I see very clearly is the price behavior is respecting a very nice structural downtrend. In a nice structural downtrend, what happens is previous lows going forward should offer resistance. And we have kind of seen this couple of times on the 75-minute time frame, where I can see lows acted at highs, lows acting as current highs. So this is a sign of a structural downtrend. So any kind of meaningful bounce back will require two things. One, where is the recent structural level? And I can see this low and this high. And so the basic necessity will be that the prices, the bounce back breaks beyond this, and at least on a daily basis takes out the last day's high. So level wise, this is around 18,230, 250, and today's high is at 18,350. So 250, 350, one should use as short-term resistances. but I'll reiterate, looking at SGX, I think the index is likely to open weak again tomorrow morning. Bank Nifty and the other sectors, all the sectors were negative except IT, which was completely flat. But real estate, PSU Bank, metal, they all fell quite sharp. We did see the move coming in Axis Bank. If you want, we can take a quick look at the top stocks, sort them and see that Tata Motors, Larsen, Tata Steel, Axis Bank especially, one of the best performing banking stock, has gone through a pretty sharp 2-day sell-off. Now, all the sectors have moved into a downtrend. The broader markets have moved into a downtrend. So I think I'll spend a little bit more time talking about a few specific stocks in today's video. So yesterday I spoke about Infosys, if you remember. Stock did fairly okay. It was up more than 0.5% in today's trade. Not bad. But I want to talk about TCS first, because I feel that TCS is at a very important crossroads. If you take a look at the daily time frame, you have a structural downtrend. And in this structural downtrend, where it stands right now is somewhere in this zone. May not be an exact level, but more or less this is the zone we are talking about. And at today's high, it's close to its previous, these levels, lows, and which is close to this high. And we can see on the 75-minute time frame, a pretty long red bar define high and low, post which the stock has completely gone kind of range bound with very small bodied candlesticks. It's either going to give us a breakdown and correct from here on, or else it should ideally give us a breakout. Now, if we get a breakdown, then one can trade this 3260 kind of a breakdown level, one can trade. But if you start to see some kind of a strength, that is a breakout, I wouldn't suggest or request you to go full throttle above this. Maybe in some staggered part by part manner, you can look to pyramid and add. Primarily because these are good resistances on the daily time frame. So extremely crucial, make or break for another large cap IT, which is TCS. Amongst the top 15 names, there are two more stocks that I would like to definitely discuss with you tonight. And you will like this second name, which is none other than Reliance. Now, Reliance primarily because if you just focus on the price behavior, there you go, we can clearly see how strong of a support the stock has created for itself, which means two things. If this support holds, the chances are there that the stock will support the index and go up. And the other thing is, once a strong support breaks, it opens up further downsides. And that particular level starts to become a strong resistance. Level wise, it's around 2570, 2575. Structure wise, we have moved into a downtrend. Momentum is just picking up on the downside again for the last 2 days. And one can look for this structural support breakdown. On the 75-minute time frame, it looks much more cleaner and clearer. There you go. You had one bounce back, which was this one, and it couldn't do much. It just flipped on the downside, and now we may look for a breakdown. Now, the 75-minute time frame does offer me certain degree of what should I say, price momentum peak and trough divergences. These are very strong divergences, which do allow the selling to slow down and probably offer a bounce back. So I'm keeping both the possibilities open, but if the market just opens and shows further weakness, it just picks up amongst other stocks. So Reliance is another one. And the final stock that I would like to discuss tonight is Asian Paints. Now, Asian Paints is also another stock which has closed positive in today's trade. Clearly, for the last 3 days, the range has expanded. It's been doing a lot of things, a lot of movement over the last, particularly 3 trading sessions. Trend down, momentum is down. Short term, it's trying its best to bounce back. And that's why on the 75-minute time frame, you'll notice it's created this kind of a structural movement. It's not a very good looking head and shoulder because the two shoulders do not seem to be symmetrical. The head is quite skewed with the help of just one big red bar. And so this is the breakout level. This is essentially 3100, which is the breakout level. I would not suggest you to buy above 3100. That is, I will not suggest you to trade the breakout. But what I will be looking for is, number one, will it break above 3100? Number two, in that case, my momentum and trend indicators will suggest that it's moved into an uptrend on the 75-minute time frame. And for a short-term trade, maybe from an intraday trade, one can look for some follow-through movement. Nothing more than that. Primarily because the daily charts, the weekly charts are pretty weak. So Asian Paints, if it sustains above 3100, can give us a short-term move on the upside. Do not trade the breakout once it's taking out 3100, because that's where I think most of the amateur traders will jump in. We don't want to do that. So keep an eye on these stocks. But in this kind of market situation, I always would suggest to stay light, because downtrending markets are far more volatile than uptrending markets. You don't want to lose unnecessarily just for the sake of trading. So even if you don't trade for a day or two or a week or two, you're not going to lose out on anything. You'll always get an opportunity to recover. You'll always get an opportunity to make some positive returns and add value to your portfolio. Right? All right. So we'll see what's in store for us in the last day of the week. That's tomorrow, Friday. Till then, good night.